can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
Very, very popular and all-time favourites is Doug. Mind you, Greg Evans is certainly a favourite. Craig Willis. Ivan, when he comes on, Ivan's got a bit gun-shy. He doesn't like to speak down the phone. He only likes to speak when you can eyeball him. We're going to get a chat to Dick from Muff later on about, Doug, did you know that someone had a crack at at Donald Trump? Did you realise that? Hasn't been on the news much, so it just snuck out. I was just walking past the television and saw a headline said someone shot at Trump. I said, gee, I could have knocked me down with some plumage. It hadn't been on the news that often. Oh, I'm not laughing at it.
It was an amateur rifle young man who did it.
An amateur rifle young man.
He didn't make his school rifle team. That's how fucking good a shot he was.
Yeah.
But did Trumpy come on last night, Sam, and he had this big white thing on his ear? What was it? It was a bit big, wasn't it? Was it or not?
Oh, well, I think that shot his ear off, Doug, so it was reasonable to put a patch over it. But
what about a Band-Aid?
He didn't miss the opportunity to. It looked like a sort of a satellite dish. It looked like a pizza.
He come out like a rock star last night.
He did. He was a bit tentative in case I think a car backfired out in the street and he ducked under the seats immediately in front of him. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Seriously.
100%. I mean, Sam, you know what? Honestly, if we can, I mean, we can't be serious, but that's only half an inch away from killing him, Sam. Seriously, that is frightening.
What do you make of it? How would you think that someone could possibly have a shot at an ex-president at a rally and you don't think it was deliberate? It was orchestrated by the opposition.
Well, Sam, would you question your own security, your own... I mean, how far away was he, that shooter?
140 yards, 400 feet, they said.
You don't have trouble, Sam. You have trouble when you line someone up from 400.
No, they can shoot. They can shoot a bullet up your coit from a mile if they want. Sharpshooters. Anyhow, I'm saying it was deliberate. That was a deliberate attempt to assassinate him by the opposition. That's what I'm saying.
Sam, the opposition come out yesterday. Biden, he called himself a black woman. Yeah. He meant to be talking about. He's talking about Harris. He said, "I'm a black woman." I heard it, and I thought,
and he was speaking about the head of the Secret Service, a woman called Kim Cheetle, and he said, someone said, "Have you spoken to Kim Cheetle about the lapse in security?" He said, "I haven't spoken to him yet, but I'll get on to having a chat to him later." Didn't even know it was a woman.
And then we saw Lewinsky, the president of Ukraine. He called him Putin.
Yep, that's right.
Boy.
Did I ever mention before that he's actually dead?
Yeah, you said he died 6 months ago.
Yeah, he did. Joe's just, as I said, he's got these.
Propped him up.
They got some of Mark Jackson's Energizer batteries. They've stuck him up his ass, and they just move him with a foot pedal. So Doug.
Yes, Sam. Trumpy, you're a Trumpy man, Sam, aren't you?
Absolutely, I'm a Trumpy man. You'll be fine that people used to actually not like to say that, Trumpy fans, in case they're ridiculed. Now, everyone's coming out of the woodwork because they realise just who else is in charge. They have set that up to kill him, and they failed. But he'll probably never be.
Sam, who's that, Sam? Who set it up, Sam, you reckon?
Indirectly, the opposition. Yeah, absolutely. The Democrats, through their acolytes, the media, the FBI, and the CIA have absolutely set this up. If you have a look at the facts and how it happened, you can't come to any other conclusion. But they failed. They'll try again. I doubt if he'll ever become the president.
They'll have a crack again.
Absolutely. Yep. He'll never become the 47th president. They'll kill him.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that's just what I say, Doug. Yeah.
Well, I'm hearing you, but that's startling. That's
but that's what they do. They won't accept anything else. They think they're the chosen one people. Now, Doug.
Well,
Now, Doug, I've been I've been a captive audience of watching AFL up here in Airlie Beach because there's not much you can't. The reception is not great. I know that sounds silly, but we're not out in the middle of nowhere. But and I've been a captive audience. I've watched more AFL football in the last 3 or 4 weeks or month than I have for a decade. And if anyone can say our game is in good shape and it is played logically, it is not childishly umpired, the pandering by the media who cover it, the dishonesty of the people who are portrayed by the office bearers, the fans tolerate it because it's tribal. The game is it is a mishmash of, and as to say some good games. What are the good games? Because the scores are close. It is played in the most ridiculous fashion. It's umpired badly, and seriously, it has become just a shadow of its former self.
Sam, it is. I'm with you here, and it's just staggering that you may not be aware of this, Sam, and Sue, you may not be aware of this, but there were 3 players who tackled, and there was 2, I think, was concussion.
I am. Charlie Cameron.
He got young Liam Duggan, who's a young boy who I coached here back at Smash, who's obviously gone on now and co-captain and played 180 games, premiership player. He fell backwards, he hit his head, accidental. This Charlie Cameron got 3 weeks for it now. The worst one, Sam, was a kid called Toby Bedford.
Yep.
Who plays for the Giants, who tackled a boy called Kim Taranto for Richmond. That was one of the best tackles that I have seen for a long, long time. And you know what he got? He got 3 games. He got rubbed out for 3 weeks. And a bloke from the Gold Coast ran past a player. I can't remember who they're playing now. With an elbow, hit him in the face or the side of the head. He got a week. He got a week. And these 3 players got 3 weeks, Sam. And then they went to the appeals board, and on that appeals board was Casey Renee Eggbom. Do you know her?
Renee Eggbom.
KC.
What's her name?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, KC.
KC and the Sunshine Band.
KC and the Sunshine.
Who's KC?
Renee Eggbom. Renee Eggbom. She was on the tribunal. She was chaired it. She chaired it. Jason Johnson, who actually played with the Bombers, and he'd have an idea. And the AFL umpire's ex-player was Jordan Bannister, who's not a bad bloke, by the way. He comes from a boxing family. His old man, I reckon, was Wayne Bannister, was a boxer, Sam. But anyway, they all went up to the appeals board and got upheld, and they all got 3 weeks. Can you believe that for tackling?
Yeah, no, I can believe it because the game is so they concentrate. They're obsessed with dividing.
Concussion. Yeah,
but they're obsessed with. They're too sanctimonious to realise that calling teams other than their actual proper names, the hybrid jumpers that they wear, people love the team colours. The nonsense about welcome to country, the rort of people standing there saying, "Oh, you feel you're an intruder in your own country." The concentration on things that are nothing to do with football is. And yet they let the game has. If you can say, I ask people this who follow it every week. I say, do you enjoy watching? They say it is shit. It is played so poorly. This is not a reflection on the players. They're talented people. They can't kick for goal. They kick the ball back. No one ever takes a mark over their head. If they do, the crowd go berserk. It is a sad reflection on where the game's got to. And the commentators and the people who call the game, they've got to say the right thing. But honestly and truly, they are so disingenuous, and it's nonsense. And so, would there be a parallel?
Sam, you know what they're going to do, Sam? The AFL are going to introduce ball tracking technology into the AFL women's season in the next couple of weeks. Ball tracking.
What is that? Is that Miss Eggbom? Is she part of that?
No, she's not Eggbom. Eggbom's not involved in that, Sam.
Right. What is that?
Laura Keane. What's her name?
Laura Keane. Kane. Yeah.
AFL football boss. She is.
What is she? Who is
Where
she?
is she from? Laura Kane or Kane?
Laura Kane.
Where is she from? Well, she's a chief executive, is she?
Is she the running football?
She runs AFL football.
And what is she bringing
boss,
in? What is she bringing in?
The technology introduced a ball tracking thing in the ball where you know. That
I
it goes over
see.
the line
I see. Yeah, it's like it's got a little bell in it. That's was people who are, the people who play blind tennis or blind ping pong. They have a bell in the ball so they know where it is. So is that what they're going to do?
Cricket, yeah.
And what's the idea of having a ball tracking?
Oh no, I'm not sure. So they have to go to the square every time. But the goal umpire gets in the best position, Sam, every time, in a great position, side on, right down the line, and they got to call for the bloody square camera again every time. It's just wasting time. It's just bullshit. Seriously, it is. Anyway.
I've been staggered. Honestly, I watch it and I think, why am I watching this? And the commentators say this is a fantastic game. You cannot be that disingenuous, and I don't care what they say. They say
Sam, you know what, Sam? We know this. It's got to a stage where now, if your tackle causes a player to go off with concussion, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
You said
protecting the head, and that's fine. I don't mind if you protect the head. But on this kid Bedford's case, it was just bullshit. It was a perfect tackle. And he caused concussion, so he gets 3 weeks for a perfect tackle.
You said, Doug, that if ever you were going to coach at the highest level...
Remember I said
you said you would tell people not to tackle.
Yep.
Didn't you?
And we laughed. We had a bit of a giggle over it, and a bit of a...
It's heading that way. It'll be touch football soon.
100%, Sam. So what I said there probably, 3 months ago?
Yep.
I said maybe if I was the coach of the AFL team now, I'd say my players don't tackle because you're going to get weeks for concussion and head damage.
And we guffawed, Doug. We guffawed.
We what?
Guffawed. Yeah. No, we laughed. We chortled.
Yes, correct. We giggled. Yes.
Guffaw. I think Sue's looking up the word guffaw.
I think it means giggle, Sam. It means giggle.
Look it up, Sue. It's GUFFORE, I think, guffaw. She's going to read this out because there's a new word for you, Doug.
Thank you, Sam. Very good, Sam. Yeah.
Well, it's actually spelled GUFFAW.
Oh, GUFFAW. Read it out, Sue.
The noun is a loud and hearty laugh.
A guffaw. We guffawed when you said that, and you were spot on, Doug.
Yeah, correct. No, I'm a student of the game, Sam. You know that.
You're a student of English. You're an English scholar. You're a man. You're a man of letters. Not lettuce. Letters.
Letters. Yeah.
Not lettuce. Not ham and lettuce.
Anyway, it's a beautiful day down here.
I sort of, when I say I don't like to knock our game, it's just an observation. I've sat in, I've been absolutely dumbfounded at how bad it is. It is, and I don't care if they're close games as for kicking for goal, if you ever relied on anyone to kick a goal, your whole season can depend on someone kicking a goal from 40 metres out. Well, how bad is that? It's extraordinary. Sometimes they fluke it. Most times they don't.
Sam, they have 25 metres to run up to kick the goal. But when you get the greats of the Chief, Piggy Dunstall and Lockett and back yesterday year of Dougie Wade and Peter Hudson and Peter McKenna, these great champions,
yes.
They kicked off 5 steps. 60 metres post high. What's changed?
I know he probably doesn't fit in the realm of these people you mentioned, but I was always impressed. He's a very nice man as well, with Ben Dixon, the left-footed from Hawthorn. He was a magnificent kick for goal. Ben Dixon. No one probably ever heard of Ben Dixon. Well, I think he's on. Doesn't he commentate?
He's on Fox Footy, Sam,
yeah.
And he was a left footer mainly. He couldn't kick right much, but
no,
you're right. He would kick off 2 or 3 steps.
He would.
Post-side.
Beautiful.
Very accurate kick.
I think.
Do you like him as a commentator? Do you, Sam? Do you like him as a commentator? Yeah.
I don't.
Don't listen to it.
No, I don't. I just watch the football until I've absolutely. Sue will vouch for this. I watch and I say, I can't watch this anymore, and I turn on. I watch the NRL. I watch the Major League Baseball. I watch the bull riding, bull riders. You ever watch them, the bull riders?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Sam, just changing tack. Just changing tack a little bit very quickly. Just a throwaway thing for you. The Dogs are playing the Cats, your mob and my mob, playing down at Gadinia Park. It's not called Gadinia Park anymore. It's called... what is it called, sir?
Is it called Simmons or is it called...
Simmons Homes.
Simmons Stadium, yes, Mr. Simmons, who builds all the homes.
Gary and Mark Simmons, yeah, they're good blokes.
Yeah.
They're very good people. They actually built my joint up here in back of Smart Town 35 years ago. But they're very lovely people. Now, what I'm leading to, Sam, is...
Do you want another wing put on your house? If you mention them again, they'll probably come up and put an annex or a bungalow.
I said Gary and Mark Simmons. I said Gary and Mark Simmons, Sam. They're very good.
I know. If you mention them again, they'll put a bungalow on the back of your house for your kids.
Well,
Gary and Mark Simmons, who build homes, Simmons Homes, who the ground's named after.
We'll be getting a sling from there, but anyway.
And I tell you what they'll do. They might put a Houdini plumbing. They might put a Houdini water heater in one of the homes, because I think only the very good. There's not too many builders left standing now. Most of them have gone bankrupt. But the ones that are still up and running, I think exclusively. I can't say exclusively because that might be gilding the lily. I think they all rush to get Houdini water heaters because. Do you know Ahmed from Houdini?
Yeah, I do. Ahmed is a very good operator.
Yeah. I don't think he comes from Jerusalem. I think he comes from the other side of town, but he is an extraordinarily good operator. Never call him the boss. He's one of the principals. Or vice versa.
He's one of the boys. He's one of the boys.
Oh, no, he is the boy. He runs it.
Oh, he's the boss.
But he's, beside what you think of Ahmed, he's got a very good product. It's called, it's a water heater, and it's got Houdini written on the side of it, and I have one. Well, I'm thinking of getting one.
Could I come back to my point?
Yeah.
I was gonna.
So, yeah.
Now, I want to ask you a question here, Sam. You ready?
Yeah. Why did you ask about the ground?
No, about the ground. The ground had been a nightmare for the Bulldogs club and team and players for many and many years. We had trouble winning there. Now, I'm going to put this to you, and I want you to answer it if you can. Teddy Whitten, the great EJ, played 21 years for the Bulldogs. I played 18 years, 17 for Footscray and 1 for Fitzroy. How many winning games out of me and EJ, 21 and 18, that's 39 years between us. How many winning games do you reckon at Gadinia Park, Sam, between us? How many do you reckon?
I reckon you got at least snared one.
Can you believe that? You nailed it.
Did I?
You knew this. You knew the
No,
answer.
I didn't. I didn't.
I bet you can't name the year. That's how good you are. See if you can name the year.
One game down there you've won.
And it was me, not EJ. Out of his 21, he never won once, and he played there every year.
Yep.
Footscray would play Geelong there every year. Didn't win once.
I remember playing. I remember playing against the great David Thorpe down there, and we were playing in the 70s, and I was in the ruck, and we had been flogging Footscray down there at Gadinia Park, and I knew David very well, and Bill Goggin was my rover, or rove to me, and David said, he said, we're going bad. You couldn't give me a kick, could you? So we go to a boundary throw, and I hit it straight to him, and he kicked it, and he said, thanks a lot. Bill Goggin ripped the living shit out of me. He said, what are you doing? I said, he's a friend of mine, mate. I think we were 20 goals up, I think. David just wanted to get a kick. So I resonate with that.
We beat the Cats. Sam, we beat the Cats in 1985 under the coaching of Mick Malthouse. We played finals that year. We finished third, lost by 10 points in the prelim. That's the only time that out of me and EJ, 39 years, was 85 we won once. That's not a bad stat, is it?
Well, you've just come, as I understand it, haven't Footscray just come off a win? Or didn't they just win last week against someone?
Weekend? They beat...
They beat Melbourne, did they?
No, not Melbourne. No,
didn't they?
Beat Melbourne. They won. They got beaten the week before against Port Adelaide.
They beat Carlton.
You're right, Sue. You're right. They beat Carlton, Sam, who are going very well. And,
I think I said it before she said it. No, this
But
one
we
of the
don't
games
go
I
for it.
watched. And they said it was a great game. It was great for Footscray to win, but this fucking game was shocking.
It was terrible. Yeah, I'm with you.
But so I reckon they might go down and take account for Geelong down at Simmons. Did we mention Simmons run the ground?
We did. Hey, Sam, you name a ruckman who's been a very good VFL, AFL coach, a ruckman. It looks like the boy Cox. You know, Big Cox from West Coast.
Yes, I do. What's his name?
Big bloke. What's his name? Dean? Is it Dean Cox?
Dean, it is. Dean Cox.
He looks like he'll take over from Simpson, the West Coast Eagles, because he's 6'6" ruckman. Can you name a successful ruckman, Sam, in your era or time that one of your teammates, Sam, coached Footscray for 2 years?
Yeah, Bluey.
Yeah, fantastic. You would have rucked against him too.
The late Bluey Hampshire, who was a very good friend of mine, and we lost him about 5 years ago. But he left Geelong and went up and coached Footscray. Yeah,
played Footscray. Yeah, played with him. I played with him, Sam, as well.
Polly coached Geelong.
Did he?
Polly Farmer did, yeah, but he was no good as a coach.
How was Percy Jones, Sam? Was he any good? Peter Jones from Carlton, was he a good coach?
Peter Jones, what is he? He's a lovely man. He lives down at Torquay now. He's he goes out the back on those big surfboards. He rides the bommies, the bomb borers out there. He got that flicks his hair back and he gets out there and he's goes out there with the open neck trousers. He goes down to Torquay, just letting it swing.
Was he a good orator, Sam? Was he a good orator?
He couldn't recite the alphabet in order. He had all the letters there, but they weren't in alphabetical order. He was, but see,
lovely bloke, lovely man.
Oh, he's a star, mate. He was a speech therapist at the United Nations. He went over there and toured the world, giving people tips on how to speak.
Oh, no. He's lovely.
People, he's been a great attraction. I think he lives down Torquay somewhere. He's out of the pub game now, but he's a great attraction. People say if there's a big swell on out in the ocean, they say you just wait for Percy. He comes down with the big Okanui boards. They're actually hollow. They built in the 50s, and they had a cork in them. And they weren't solid balsa. They were hollow boards. And he goes out Okanui style and gets the big waves, and people stand on the shore near Bell's Beach and they look at him coming in. He is a huge asset and a huge attraction down there, Percy. Doesn't do a lot of interviews because he can't speak. He's got a stutter.
Yeah, no, Jimmy Buckley said that to me. He said one day they were now coaching him. He got a bit tangled up. And him and Wayne Johnson had to take over. They said they took over.
Well,
anyway,
I do.
He's a premiership player, Percy. Lovely bloke, too. I love to have a beer with Percy.
Well, I do my Bible joke again about the bloke. I do it I do it every month.
What is it?
It's about the bloke was at the Bible convention and the boss at the auditorium. There was 1,000 people. He said, hands up those who sold 12 Bibles this month. And a couple of hands shot up. Anyone sell 50 Bibles? And a couple of hands. Did anyone sell more than 50 Bibles? And this lone hand went up the back. He said, how many? He said, come down here. He said, I think the records say you sold 500 Bibles in a month. He said, how did you do it? And the bloke said, well, I would not knock on the door of the house, and when it was opened, I would say, would you like to buy a Bible, or do you want me to read it to you? They sold 500.
There's two like that.
How many times have I heard that, Doug?
I do it every other week. I do that joke. I got others too.
Sam, I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah. So,
how are we tracking here?
I want to ask you.
Shout out.
Now, here.
What do you want me to do? Is shout out.
Yeah, do a shout. Do a shout out now. And I've got to. No, before you do it, Doug, in case I forget, because I've got. I want to ask you this question. Yep. So we were talking about the standard of football, not the standard of players, but the way it's played.
Yep.
So you were in the team of the century for whom?
Footscray.
And
I was emergency for
all right,
Fitzroy.
so
21 games. 21 games. I was emergency for
righto.
Fitzroy.
Well, we'll don't worry about Fitzroy. But you were in the team of the century. Is there
vice captain? By
okay,
the way. Yep,
okay.
Yep.
So that is by very definition of you were in the top 20 players in the 100 years that Footscray have been playing football. Right, that's how it works, isn't it?
Correct.
And I was in the team of the century at Geelong, so I was considered.
You're in the Sam? You made it?
Yes, I did. I was considered to be one of the top 20 players in 100 years. That's how it works.
Sure.
If they did the team of the, if they did. If they took into consideration the people that have played for 24 years of this century and put it into the team of the century, do you think anyone would replace you? Because
not replace me, but would
edge you out of the side.
No, not edge me out.
No, of course. So I was in the ruck.
I mean, Bontempelli, Sam, is a current day, and footy's different. You've nailed it. It's totally different. He's a modern day great. I ask you that, Sam. Would Bontempelli have better played than Ted Whitten?
Well,
you don't even know what Bontempelli is, do you?
Yeah, no, of course I do. But I've always, that's right. I always qualify this, and I did before we had this discussion. I said this is no reflection on the players. They play the game how they're instructed or how they've been brought up with it. So they're very talented. But I'm saying Bontempelli might get into a Footscray team of the century if you considered the 24 years of this century. But he wouldn't replace you. He might replace someone else. So I was in the ruck with Farmer in the Geelongs. No one that's come along in 24 years would have taken me out of the Geelong side in the ruck. I could absolutely say that because maybe they don't put much emphasis on the ruck. I don't know, but so. There's a very interesting thing. Who do you think would take your place? No one would take your place. No one would take my place.
On the wing, no, not at all.
That's right. But you might have a whole lot of different people. But when you think back, who would replace Michael Turner in Geelong's wing? No one.
On the wing?
No one that I've seen in 24 years would have.
No way.
Anyhow, it's all subjective.
Well, who was on the other wing, Sam? His dad, Leo. Do you have a dad?
Leo Turner, yep. Leo and Michael Turner. Yep. So there you are. So did you know this, Doug, that the Olympics start next week?
Who does?
9 days, the Olympics. The Olympics. What do you mean? What do you mean who does?
It's in Paris. It's up in Paris, isn't it?
Yeah, Paris, in France, Doug.
They're French.
Yeah, they eat snails and frogs' legs and
frogs' legs.
Yeah, bloke walked into a restaurant in Paris and said, "Have you got frogs' legs?" And the bloke said, "Yeah, we have." He said, "Well, hop over the bar and get us a cheese sandwich, will you?"
You're too laughing at that.
Oh, I can do my other joke, which I do every.
Hop over here.
Hop over the bar and get us a cheese sandwich. I can give you my other joke that I do every 3 weeks.
That's very good. That's very good, Sam. I like.
Well, you'll like this too because I do this every 3 weeks as well. Bloke walked into a fish and chip shop and he walked up and the bloke said number 32 and he walked up in the fish and chips and the bloke behind the jump said. Do you want some salt on the fish and chips? And the bloke said, yeah, give us some salt. So the bloke behind the counter put his hand into his left-hand pocket and brought out a handful of salt and sprinkled it on. He said, do you want pepper? And he said, yeah, I'll have some pepper. So he put his hand into his right-hand pocket and pulled out some pepper. And the bloke standing behind the bloke said, for Christ's sake, don't ask him, does he want vinegar?
Hey, you know what, Sam? You know what we've just done for the last 20, 30 minutes?
No, what?
You know what we've done, Sue? We've had a laugh. You know what? The world is rooted. Seriously. It's just absolutely rooted, the world. And we're sitting here. I'm sitting in a car down here in Bacchus and we're just having a bit of a giggle, a bit of a laugh, and not taking ourselves serious.
No. Well, I'm asking.
Refreshing. It's been refreshing.
Well, good. And I'm asking you about the Olympics, which come up in 9 days in Paris. Will you be interested in what captivates your what do you like watching?
I like watching the boxing, Sam.
The boxing?
Yes. I like watching the boxing. There's a young boy here who can't remember his name now. So you like watching the amateur boxing in the Olympics? I do.
They wear head guards, Doug.
Yeah, I know they do.
And they wear singlets.
Yeah, I know, mate. Well, I don't actually love watching it.
Well, let me ask you this question again.
I like watching the swimming because we're very good.
Hang on, Doug.
We've got a very good team. We've got a very good go on.
Let me ask you this question again, Doug. Did you know in 9 days the Paris Olympics are starting?
Yes, I do. Right. Sam. Yes.
Well, what do you like to watch at the Paris Olympics? What sport captivates your?
Sam.
Yeah, that's better.
Because we're good. Because we're good at it. We've got a very good team put together.
And can I ask you this?
Champions? Yeah, go on.
I know. So there's the freestyle, there's the breaststroke, there's the backstroke. Could you tell me what the purpose of learning the butterfly is? Have you ever tried to butterfly?
It is it's the hardest action to do, butterfly. I can't do it.
What is the point of it? So here's my question, Doug.
Why is it? Of course, it's part of the thing, the program. Hello?
I know it's part of the program, but why? Who would have thought of that as a stroke? So here's my question to you, Doug. If you went down on the Titanic, would you butterfly to the nearest iceberg? Of course you fucking wouldn't. You can't even get your arms over the top of your shoulders. What is the point of it?
I've had a shoulder recon. I can't. My left arm won't go over. My right arm will.
That's right.
Can you be a butterfly one arm, Sam, or not? No.
Oh, you'd go around in circles, Doug, but you'd eventually get there. You could ramp up with someone who'd had a crook left arm and you had a crook right arm. You could ramp together and you could go down in unison, one using their left arm. Doug, I tell you, the people who do the butterfly always have their shoulders reconstructed. And it's the most ridiculous stroke. Who would have thought it up?
No, you wouldn't. If you went down and you went down the swimming, mate, and you had a great white chase and you'd find a yard, wouldn't you? 5 metre great white up your ass, you'd find a yard. So anyway,
I like the track and field. The track and field I like.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, do you know what they're going to be? I'm serious about this, Doug. They're going to be fraught with danger. This is going to be the controversy. You wait till trans men wish to enter the women's competitions. They've banned that. They have banned that already.
They're not allowed
I think.
to, Sam. They're not allowed to be.
No, but there's plenty of litigation going on to say that why can't transgender men compete with women, Doug?
Well, they're not allowed to.
No, they're not.
No, well, this won't happen, but this won't happen, sure.
You ever watch the women high jumpers, Doug? Aren't they? How good? What about their legs? They got perfect legs, feet at one end of them.
You watch the pole vault? You watch the pole vault girls?
Pole vault girls, yeah. I only watch the women athletes. I don't watch the men.
You used to watch it down the men's gallery.
See,
the pole vault there.
People think we're sexist, so we may as well just go on with it. What about the women athletes? Aren't they good? In fact, they should just have the Olympics for women. Just women's Olympics. Don't worry about the men. They can go to another competition.
We're still on air. We're still on air.
Now, all right, Doug, we're coming to a close. I just want to ask you...
Can I give a shout before I go?
Oh, no, I've got some shout-outs to do too. Can I ask you this question? I want to ask you this. I've been a captive audience of watching the football here. I tell you what I've got onto, Sue and I have got onto when we sit here and wondering why we're not out on the islands because the boat won't work. Have you ever watched Dr. Pimple Popper?
Yeah, I have, Sam, yeah.
What a show.
It's a great show.
Jesus, people come on deformed. They have small watermelons growing out the side of their head, or they have pixie-like ears, or they have a jaw that's coming out the side of their shoulder. And this woman cuts and carves and chisels and belts, and it's extraordinary watching them. And people who have pus all over their body, and you're eating your dinner watching this, and suddenly they squeeze it, and fucking it goes over the lens of the camera. Pus, and it's called. And the bloke said,
Pimple show.
"Yeah," he said, "I want a." He said, "I want a pimple popper, doctor." And it's an extraordinary show. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
You don't watch that. That's bullshit. You don't
He does.
I've taped it.
Serious?
I have taped it, Doug.
Bullshit, sir. He doesn't.
I've encouraged him to watch the AFL footy because I don't mind watching the footy, and he's encouraging me to watch the Dr.
Pimple Popper.
Oh.
I've taped him.
Pimple Popper. Why would you watch that?
Because it's extraordinary. The people who are so deformed, they come in with things. They've got.
Why would you watch that?
They've got things like vegetables growing out the side of their head, and they think, "Shit, what is that? It's a tumour." And it's extraordinary. And then you can watch my 500-pound sister. They've sisters that weigh as much as a small transit van, and they show them living together. They can't get out of the bed.
I wonder if they're on OnlyFans.
They have to, in order to OnlyFans. In order to ablute, Doug, the 500-pound sisters have to have a trapdoor in their bed so they can crap through the. They can't get out of bed, Doug. And they have orderlies that climb under the bed and wipe their coit.
To all of our listeners, I'm just laughing at you. I'm laughing at anyone.
Well,
I'm laughing at your comments.
they put these on as shows that people watch. I'm not making it up. So Doug, now finally, what was I going to say? I've
got a shout out.
Oh, shout outs. Yeah, do the shout out. Come on.
I've got a shout out. Caroline Alexander, her partner, never misses the podcast, and so it's Trevor Tippett from Wanturna. So he just to give a shout out to him.
Trevor Tippett.
Yeah.
How do you know them? Did they write in and say, "Can you give us a shout out?"
Yes.
Good on you, Trev. And who?
Good on you, Trev.
What's the other one?
No, his partner's name's Caroline Alexander.
Caroline Alexander and Trev Tippett. Good on you, kids.
They want to know where you can buy the T-shirts from.
Well, I'm getting onto that in a minute because Michael Christian.
How the hat's going down the road?
Doug. Doug.
Mick Christian.
Michael Christian Menswear.com. Someone wrote in and said, "Why is Michael Christian?" They thought that was the Michael Christian from the AFL. Said, "Why does he make hats for you?" Michael Christian Menswear.com is down in Tasmania. And Doug, your signature is on the side of the "You Cannot Be Serious" caps, the golf cap style. And Mike Christian says he cannot keep up with the demand. He has got.
Who's making them, Sam? Who makes
them? People in Vietnam in the sweatshops. Kids. Once you turn 9, you're eligible to make all the Nike gear and all the Adidas gear over there. So. They've got kids working 19 hours a day making our hats and Nike shoes, and don't worry about the unions over there. They get $1 a month, so they're laughing. They can't believe their luck. So Mick has got more hats. He's got truckloads of hats being delivered, and you can buy them from michaelchristianmenswear.com, and he has got your signature and my signature on the side of the hats, and he's got T-shirts, You Cannot Be Serious T-shirts. So that's how you get hold of him. And I'll give you my shout out. He said a bloke called Peter Harwood from the Sunshine Coast has a Smart as Sam cap with your name and my name on it. And he said, could I give a shout out to Ben Clark? He's from I saw a woman, a blonde woman, I think, who was one of the hosts on Sunrise on Channel 7. And she said someone got their HSC, she said. I said, oh, my God, why would you employ someone who says H? This is a commentator, so I don't know what her name is. Lucky I didn't get her name, but she was blonde, very good-looking woman, and she said H. And I thought, whoops, turned it straight off. If you're employing people who are that ignorant, you shouldn't have them broadcasting news. So anyhow, he works. This man, Ben Clark, is from HST Tree Services in Tasmania, from Kings Meadows. Kings Meadows in Tasmania, Doug. He's got one of the one of the caps, and he listens. They listen in their trucks when they're driving to take down. They are, what do you call someone who, an arborist, a person who prunes trees and cuts trees down as an arborist, and they listen while they're driving their trucks out to the jobs at HST Tree Services, Doug.
Yes.
Yes, who was your shout out?
Mine is to the outgoing ex-mayor of Melbourne, Miss Sally Cap.
Yep. What are you giving her a shout out for?
Well, I thought you did an outstanding job over her 6 years of tender.
Did you? What did you like about her work?
Well, she
what'd she do?
Change the Australian Day. She wanted to change that. I thought was a great idea. I thought that was fantastic.
What did she wanted to change it to?
She wanted to change it in some day in May or something, or June or some bloody thing. It's the 26th of January. He's been doing that for 180,000 years.
And why are we changing it then?
We didn't need to. And then, Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, allegedly, she was quoted as saying that we were a better place, Melbourne, for having COVID for 3 years. Well, fuck me. Jeez, are we serious?
Oh, so you're giving her a shout out to a tongue-in-cheek.
I'm giving her a backhander.
Ah,
I don't
well,
know the lady. I don't know her.
You sucked me in, Doug.
But you know when you know I did suck you in because I knew you probably don't rate her, do you? You rate her?
No, for those very reasons.
Yeah, so she left us in disarray. I think she got one of your medals, Order of Australia or something, didn't she? Did she get one of those?
Not one of Sue's medals. So she got an Order of Australia.
We're doing great services for Melbourne.
But they mean, any of those medals mean fuck all these days. Dan Andrews got an AC.
Dan Andrews got one.
An AC? I don't know. That's an AC joint.
And that's Sam, and that's for knocking the kid off a push bike. Refused to give his no breathalyzer. Newman, not Newman. Andrews and his missus, no breathalyzer, and they drove a car on Roe River home with a smashed windscreen.
Allegedly, Doug. I think allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
One of them was driving. So
yeah, one of them was driving. Yep.
But me and you get breathalyzed, wouldn't we, from an accident?
I get breathalyzed even if I'm not driving. They reckon the kid came out of a.
Well done, Sally.
They reckon the kid came out of a side street and T-boned the car. Did $8,000 worth of damage, bloke on a push bike.
Doug,
you got the medal.
Doug, you were right. You were right. She did get an AO, which is an Order of Australia medal.
Oh, did she?
Yep.
What for, do you reckon, Doug? Just for saying COVID was a great thing for Melbourne?
Distinguished services to Melbourne for all the work on graffiti, the homeless and disadvantaged. She found accommodation for all those people that were struggling.
She did none of that, did she?
She did jack shit.
Oh, she was paid for it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
she got paid for it.
She got a stipend. She got a car. She used to park a car on the footpath. And they gave her a ticket. They said, "No, I'm the Lord Mayor. I can do what I like."
She brought in the bike lanes.
That's right. Got people to stay out of the city, so can't bring your car in because, what would you want to drive into the city and buy stuff at Meyer and David Jones? Oh, no, we wouldn't come in there doing that. They turned into a ghost town.
You should stand for Lord Mayor, Sam. You should have. They got Reece
Plumbing?
Nicholas Reece.
Reece Plumbing? Nicholas Reece. Will he get up?
He's in. He's the deputy to her. So
is he? No. He's now the Lord Mayor. He's now been officially stepped up from the vice.
I think he was secretly going to.
Now in charge.
I think he was secretly going to fate Suzanne here to be his running mate. But when he realised that she sort of knew me, I don't think he thought it was a good look. Because I'd tell him exactly what he should do with his city.
No, and Sam, Sue, we won't talk about the CFMEU. I'm not talking about that.
Did you know what CFMEU do you know what that stands for?
Yeah, as a. Of course I do. I've been in the organisation for 12 years.
Right. So what's C stand for?
C stands for construction.
Yep. Construction. F.
Forestry.
Yes. CF.
What's the next one? What's next?
There's two of them. There should be two M's, but there's two M's.
M. What's next? M. Yeah,
Marine and
Ministry.
No. Marine.
Marine. What is M for? I should know. Go on. I've got a memory lapse. M. Go on. What is it?
Hang on. I'm just trying to think of it.
You're trying to look it
Forestry.
up. Look it up.
No.
Chemistry.
No. Marine.
Maritime.
Yeah, maritime. But that's the E.
Energy.
Is it?
I think so. Energy.
Well, you do. I thought it might have been education. Energy and
United or something.
No, the union, Doug. The union.
Union, is it?
The U is union.
I've been a member for 12 years.
There was two M's. There was marine, maritime, and
No, there's no two M's in that.
There was
CFME.
CFMEU, and they just dropped one of the M's out. And I'm glad I started this.
You had Billy on there. You had Billy on the show. Johnny, sorry.
Johnny Setka.
Yeah, Johnny was on.
I did. I've had John Setka on and had a very good chat to John. I'd like to get him on again.
Yep.
Here's a question for you, Doug, though. The issues that they're having at the moment, is it more New South Wales-based or is it Victoria-based or is it Australia-wide?
You know that, Doug?
Sam, I've been in the industry 12 years and I'll be totally honest here, and I've been on all the construction sites. I've never seen any bad dealings or any allegedly these spiky situations. But let me just say something, Sue and Sam, to you on a serious note.
Yes.
We don't have shop stewards on job sites. You know what we're going to have? We're going to have people not coming home to their loved ones. There'll be deaths left, right and centre on these job sites. I'm telling you right now, if the government, Jacinta Allen and her gang, want to come in and dismantle the CFMEU union and don't have shop stewards on job sites, we're going to have deaths every day. Trust me on it.
No, we do trust you on it, Doug, and that's very nicely said.
I'm being serious on that.
I'm with you, Doug. I know you're serious, and I could absolutely back that up. I think if you don't have people overseeing the safety conditions, no matter how much they might rort it or are perceived to rort it, you need to have people who are responsible overseeing the safety conditions for people like you who work there, Doug.
Yep, correct, Sam. Spot on.
Well, there we are, Dougie. It's been fantastic. Any other final? You got it. The Logies haven't started. I know you gave us a tip for them.
I'm tipping Sonia Kruger back to back, and you're tipping Tony Armstrong from the BC, the ABC.
I am.
Where's he from? ABC or what? Who's he with? Tony Armstrong.
He's with I think he's with the ABC. Does sport?
I think he's an actor.
Is he an actor?
What is he?
Sue's had a good point. She could make it herself, except she doesn't know what I'm going to say. She thought that Mr. Irwin would be a shoo-in because he has 8 million. How many followers does he have on social media?
900 and something. So nearly a million.
He has 1 million followers, and she thinks. I'm not putting words in her mouth, but she thinks that all the people who are following him on social media will just vote for him, and that will get him over the line.
He's a great talent, Sam. Sue,
is he?
You're on the money there, Sue. He's a great talent, isn't he, Sue?
I reckon he is. I actually don't wind me up, you
bastard.
Pooh head.
So, Doug, I tell you what,
he's ordinary, Sam. But anyway, go on.
Oh, he's a good young talent. Come on.
He's a good young talent, yeah.
He's got personality.
Julia Morris keeps him on his toes. Go on.
Well, I tell you what, I think if we could get the Dr. Pimple Popper into the Logies, I reckon she would take it, the buttered confection, just in a trice. She can extract more pus out of a bloke's head in half an hour, less the ads, that I've ever seen. She can cut a bloke's dick off in a... I know a bloke who had... A bloke walked into her surgery and said he's got 5. A bloke walked into her surgery and said, I've got 5 dicks. And she said, well, at least your pants will fit you like a glove.
I've heard that before.
I know, they're all old, aren't they?
I heard that in grade 2.
Yeah, that's right. I kicked the bottom out of the bassinet when I first heard that. All right, Dougie, it's been fantastic.
Love you.
You're a star, mate. All the best.
Good on you, mate. See you.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See you soon.